Today I'm going to talk with you about dealing with discouragement and criticism as a musician. There's a saying that I've heard several times over the years which says it's not the things that happen to you, but it's your response to the things that happen to you that make all the difference in your life. I have found this to be the case. I found that it's absolutely true. I would also love to tell you that I've responded to all the things that have happened to me in my life in a positive way, but unfortunately, that hasn't always been the case. I think that's part of being a human being. We're all emotional, at least to some degree. So when something really disappointing, frustrating, or hurtful happens to us, it's only natural to be upset, angry, and maybe even depressed, at least at first. But despite that fact, I still know that it's true that ultimately you can choose your response to what happens to you, and that will eventually direct the course of the rest of your life. So today I'm going to share with you one example of some of the discouraging things that happened to me and some of the criticism that I've dealt with on my own musical journey. I'll tell you how I dealt with it emotionally and intellectually to continue on. Hopefully by sharing this, you'll see that discouragement and criticism isn't unusual at all in music. If you've received some of that, it's not just you. It doesn't mean that you don't have talent, or that you're not capable of being good at this, or that somehow your life is over. The experience that I'd like to share happened to me while I was still in high school. At the time, I was just learning to play the drum set. I had a friend that had been playing for several years, and he was way ahead of me in his skill level on the instrument. I was very inspired though, and at that point in my life, I had already decided that I wanted to be a professional musician. So I shared this dream with one of my high school music teachers. He basically tried to tell me that my dream was completely unrealistic and that I should do something else with my life. I pointed out my friend who played the drums to him. I told him my friend had been playing much longer than I have, and told him that if I really practiced and worked at it, I'd be able to play like him. My teacher told me that he thought I'd never be able to play as well as my friend because I simply didn't have it in me. Why a teacher would say that to a student, I have no idea. I have personally taught thousands of students, and I would never say that or think that about one of my students. For one thing, I found that it's impossible to tell how good a student will ultimately be in the very beginning. I've seen students with tons of natural talent that simply wouldn't practice the instrument and eventually just quit. I've seen other students that really struggled, sometimes for years, and then became really amazing students. They became amazing musicians. So anyway, that experience was very discouraging for me and hurtful, as I'm sure you can understand. I know it was hurtful because I still remember it clearly, and that was many years ago. I think at that point, many young musicians who had an experience like that would simply quit playing. Fortunately for me, I wasn't one of those people. I thought to myself at the time, yeah, well, I'm going to prove you wrong. I used that as motivation to work harder rather than letting it destroy my belief in myself. I did go on to have a very fulfilling professional career in music, and I'm so glad that I didn't let one person's negative attitude and assessment of my abilities and potential destroy my future. That's all I have today. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.